And 40 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ursula Royteen.
From Sammamish to South Lake Union, this is KIRO Radio 97.3 FM. News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
The Big Lead is brought to you by 3010 Weight Loss for Life.
The Dori Monson Show on KIRO Radio. This is The Big Lead.
Coming to you from the Carter Subaru studio, streaming on Facebook Live. I have to get a couple things off my chest here. I woke up this morning. There's going to be a get off my lawn. I'm an old curmudgeonly guy. Little rant here. I woke up this morning, Ursula. I looked outside. Snow was falling. It was beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Beautiful to look at from your bed.
It was 5:30 a.m. And I got out of bed and I looked out and it was kind of sticking on the yard and we had snow on the ground and I was happy. I was so happy. So I went downstairs. And the first thing I do in the morning, when you've been to my house many times,
Yes.
the one thing that my wife and I really wanted, and we kind of redesigned the house around this. We wanted, because I'd had a wood-burning fireplace in my last two homes, and I love chopping wood. But I just wanted to be able to flick a switch and have a nice fireplace. So we got the largest gas fireplace that was available.
It's beautiful.
It's just, it makes me happy. But as I flicked the switch, I was thinking, the natural gas that powers the fireplace, right now in Olympia, there are people who want to skyrocket the cost of natural gas that comes into our homes. They want to drive it, because we don't even have to turn on the furnace. The fireplace emits so much heat, radiant heat, beautiful, warm. Oh, love it. So I turn on the fire, and as I flick the switch, I think, man, they're trying to take more of my money and my listeners' money right now, as I'm sitting here at 5:40 on this Thursday morning. Then I do show prep for a couple of hours, and I go down to the little shopping mall, it's a little town center.
I went there last weekend.
It's
Cute.
I love it. I love it. There's an Albertsons. I love all the people who work at Albertsons. It became a Hagen for a short time, and I hated Hagen. And me and all of my neighbors, we drove Hagen right out of there because none of us shopped there. We refused to go there.
Because the prices went up.
My boneless, skinless chicken breast, which is a staple of my diet, $1.99 at Albertsons, $3.99 a pound at Hagen's. That's double. So we drove Hagen's out of there. And so now it's back to Albertsons, which I love. And right next to Albertsons is a bird shop. And I get my bird feeders there. And right next to that is a Mod Pizza. And my wife and my kids love that.
How many bird feeders are you buying?
I've got 4 now.
Okay.
I've got 4. And then the gym where I work out most mornings. It's right there. The bookstore that has stood when the industry is being decimated. And I'm walking around and I'm realizing that Sound Transit is plotting with developers to tear all of this down despite overwhelming community opposition. And how are we on the mayor? We going to get the mayor of the town on?
Yeah, I talked to him, and then he kind of
He's
promised
climbing
me
up.
the next week, and then he's been ignoring me since.
Well, he's
so I'm
on the
working
Sound
it.
Transit Board. And what they've done is they've gotten all of these little small town mayors on their board because they're all appointed to be lackeys. Sorry, Mr. Mayor, but we don't want the place torn down so you can put up 5-story condos and gridlock the place with more traffic and destroy the... It's one of the things that works really great in my life. I can get a Mod Pizza, I can go to Albertsons, I can work out at the gym, I can get a book.
There's a cute little chocolate shop, too.
There's a chocolate shop. Yes, there's a baseball card shop. Those don't exist anywhere. It's just a bucolic, nice little place. And Sound Transit wants to tear it down. So everything that's warm and cozy in my life. I realized this morning, my fireplace, we've got socialists in Olympia who are working, they want to fundamentally change our lifestyle by driving prices of heating our home out of sight. And Sound Transit wants to rip down this place that works so very well. And then...
That wasn't it?
No, that's not what set me off. But the fuse had been set as I was thinking about all of these things. So occasionally I need a little sleep aid. The Walgreens that's closest to my house closed on February 28th. Why? Gonna build a 5-story apartment building there. Now, I'm a free market capitalist. I understand that private property owners have the right to do things, but what's going on now, and this is what I can't believe. Oh, so that, I'll tell you what I can't believe in a minute.
Is it going to be like upscale apartments or
I don't know.
I mean, is it going to be affordable housing? What is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just going to be a
Just
building.
trying to
It's just not
soften
Walgreens.
the blow.
So the second closest Walgreens, it takes
Walgreens.
me, whatever.
There's an S.
It takes me forever to get there. The intersection that you have to turn left to get in. You can only approach it from one direction. You have to sit through 3 or 4 light cycles. And at the Walgreens that I used to use, Walgreens, I knew all the pharmacists. They're lovely people. They're just wonderful. You know, one of the main pharmacists, her little boy was a big Seahawks fan. We talk about that. So I go to this new one after waiting through 3 light cycles. And, first thing, so 2 nights ago, I see that I need a little refill of my sleep aid.
And is there only one place you can get it?
Well, okay, I'll
I mean,
One
you
place
sound
get to that in a
it.
minute here.
I mean, you
Oh,
sound a
my-
little inflexible.
My wife and I are in a big, huge dispute over that. But we get our Walgreens points. No, let's just go to Rite Aid. We don't need points. So I sit through 3 light cycles. Oh, no, wait, before that. 2 nights ago, I do the refill by scan. And it says, you got to call the pharmacy.
Oh.
But I have 3 refills. So I call the pharmacy, and the guy says, oh, yeah, I see it here. We'll have it for you tomorrow. That was yesterday. So this morning, I think, well, I will call them to make sure it's ready before I go through this nightmare trip to get there. So I go online, and it's kind of I don't like the neighborhood that this store's in either. And so I go online, I get their phone number, I call it, it's a number that's out of service, the number that's on their website
Oh, no.
for that store. So I go, okay, I'll take a chance. They said it's going to be ready yesterday. So I get there, it's not ready. No, we don't have it in the system. We don't know what's wrong. That never happened at the old place. And so now I've wasted 20 minutes of my day just trying to make up for the fact that this place is getting torn down for an apartment building. And now I'm seething. And that's where I started to think, is everybody blind as to what's happening here? That we're upzoning Seattle. We're going to take down single-family homes. We're going to eliminate yards. We're going to put condos everywhere. We're going to make sure that people can only be in communal areas so that Seattle can be this new socialist paradise. And we've got Sound Transit that's tearing down things that work perfectly fine and have made my neighborhood a wonderful place to live for 30 years, and they're going to destroy that, and the politicians know that the people don't want that, but it's the developers, and Sound Transit was created for one reason and one reason only, and that was to transfer $100 billion from you and me to developers and to labor unions and to build this bogus system that is doing nothing for transportation in our region, and it's a criminal enterprise. And so now I'm just in a full froth after flipping on my natural gas fireplace and going to the place that Sound Transit's going to destroy. and then realizing that the reason all these changes are happening is so they can funnel money from us to the connected developers and property owners. And yes, I'm a free market capitalist, but you and I are getting screwed over right now because everything has been constructed to funnel money to a bunch of politically connected thieves.
This is what came of you waking up on a snowy morning?
Oh, it was so beautiful when I saw the snow, too.
You know what? I have an idea. Why don't you get your prescriptions at Costco? Because you love to go there, and that would give you extra reasons to go.
Yeah, I'm going to stand in line for 40 minutes every time I need to refill. You ever try to refill a prescription at Costco? You know how long those lines are?
Longer than the little snack.
Oh,
But
jeez.
but you would be in your happy place, though. Filled with cherry pies.
Yeah, here's another thing.
Dori, I just don't think you don't like change.
No, that's not interesting because almost all change in life is for the better. Cars today are incredibly more safe. We can talk on our phones with hands-free Bluetooth connectivity. Phones have changed for the better.
But with that has come some detriment. I mean, there have been problems because of that.
Yes,
not
but-
everything is. I mean, with
but
change
most-
comes great things and not so great things.
Private market change, almost everything's better. Computers, iPads, phones, TVs. We can have I had a 19-inch black and white when I grew up. I got a 55-inch plasma, and it cost about the same. I mean, everything that the private market drives has changed for the better. Everything that government is driving is making things worse. I truly cannot think of any aspect of life that is better for government change. And because developers and well-connected people have constructed this $100 billion enterprise to suck money out of all of us, and I get frustrated because I know that the people who listen to this show, they know what's going on. These other morons out here, they have no clue. They're just, we'll vote to save the planet. And everything's getting worse that government touches. Everything that private industry changes evolves for the better. So that was my morning.
Now I know why you came in and said, save it for air.
Yeah. Nicole, when I walked in, Nicole goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm saving it for the air. I'm not going to tell you." But I was furious.
I brought my blood pressure cuff, just FYI. I'm about to ask you to take
let's
it.
check it. You have it?
I do.
Okay, let's go while I do the rest of the big lead. Let's strap it on. We'll have a live blood pressure reading. Although we should have taken it about a minute ago. I think I'm starting to settle down
You
already.
just vented. Should be good now.
I'm serious, though. I get so frustrated at how blind people around here are to what has been constructed by a one-party government and labor unions and the connected developers to make our lives worse. The stuff that I complain about on a usual basis, is government. But the things that work really well in my life, my home, I'm going to move. If Sound Transit destroys my neighborhood, I don't ever want to move. My wife and I, we designed our house. We didn't know what we were doing, but it turned out exactly as we envisioned and exactly as we wanted. I don't ever want to move. I want to die in that house. It's impossible to love a home any more than I love my house. But I'm going to move if Sound Transit comes in and destroys our neighborhood. I'm not going to continue to put up with the sheep that are being led by the crooks. And in fact, I had a thought. This will shock you, Nicole, because can you imagine me ever being a political activist off the air?
No.
I actually, as I was driving in, I was thinking I might organize a rally. I might try to fill that town center that Sound Transit wants to destroy. I might try to fill it shoulder to shoulder with people and dare the mayor and the city council to come out and say, yeah, we're going to let Sound Transit fundamentally change the entire character of where all of you live. I seriously could, for the first time in my life, see myself getting in. And I always feel like, no, I can do it on the air. I can accomplish my goals on the radio far better than I could by, walking with leaflets. But I got to do something. And people have to start waking up. Yes, I'm a free market capitalist, but we got crooks in collusion against us right now. Boy, that snow was pretty this morning. I'll tell you that right now. Did I even start the big lead?
I don't think so, but we're about done anyway.
Yeah, okay. We'll tell you what. A Dori Monson show exclusive. There is a potentially gigantic lawsuit that has just been filed against Boeing because of that crash. And I got really deep into the details of why that crash happened. I was tipped off that this lawsuit was going to drop today. And so I was able to do a lot of research on this last night. And this could be really bad for Boeing. And I know we got a lot of Boeing workers who listen to our show. And we're going to talk to the attorney who is filing this lawsuit. We will do that exclusively next here on the Dori Monson Show.